Hello friends and welcome to YouTube channel Freedom Tech, and in this session what we are going to learn. In this session we are going to count students moving in lobby area. So before we move to our practical, friends, if you learn something from our videos, please consider to subscribe our channel. Okay friends, thank you so much, and let's get started. So friends, as I mentioned, today we are going to use YOLOv8 for create a counter for students which basically moving, or we can say exit and entering in lobby area. So for that, first we want our packages. So open Tony Python IDE, go to the tools, manage packages, search for OpenCV-Python, hit enter, first package, click on install, and it will install OpenCV on our Windows machine. This is Windows 11 machine. Of course you can use your Windows 10 machine also. That's it. So we are done with OpenCV. Now we need our ultralytics package. So just search for ultralytics, hit enter, ultralytics, and first package is the ultralytics. Just click on install and it will install ultralytics. Then we need a CV zone package. Search for CV zone, first package, click on install, and it will install CV zone. That's it. We have done with package installation. We install OpenCV-Python, then we install ultralytics package for YOLOv8, and then we install CV zone package for putting our counter on the frame. Simple, that's it. So for today's session, I have created a repository which is YOLOv8 students counting lobby. I will mention link inside the description box. Copy and paste the link and just go to the code, click on download zip, and it will download our zip format repository. So we successfully download our repository. So we need to simply move inside our downloads folder, and then this is what our repository. Right click, WinRAR, click to the extract, and we have now same repository, again main folder, and then we have all the files. So first we need our video file. So video.zip, right click, WinRAR, extract here, and it will extract our video file. So if I start the video file, so friends, as I mentioned, this is what we can say, this is what university, or we can say a college lobby area, where we have some students is basically going out and coming inside. So our goal is to create a counter. This is the CCTV footage. We have here CCTV video file, and as you can see, the students are basically going in and some students are basically going out. This is the gate, we can say. So our goal is to create a counter using YOLOv8 pre-trained model. So let's get started. I hope you all clear with our scenario. So simply for that, we have our coco.txt, which is basically our classes file. Then we have our tracker file. So let's get started. Let's just open main.py, and here I have mentioned the basic code. So we have here our YOLOv8s.pt pre-trained model. Then this is what our mouse event function, because we want here our area, we want to we need to create a region of interest area for creating a counter. So for that I have mentioned here a mouse event area. With the help of a mouse, if we move our mouse on our frame, we will get the XY coordinates, and with the help of XY coordinates we can simply declare our region of interest area. So this is the basic code. I have mentioned here area already. As you can see, this is what area where we are going to detect and track and count the students. So this is what our area, no problem. I will explain how I have mentioned these points. So then we have our basic code, read frame cap.read, then frame resize, then result is equal to model.predict, our model. This is what our model, which is YOLOv8s.pt pre-trained model. Then we have x1, y1, x2, y2, and then we have class. So this is the basic code. Now simply we want to mention our rectangle. So we have here x1, y1, x2, y2. We have here class also. So because we want to detect here only one class, which is person, so let's just create if condition. If if the person in our C is basically our class, so class list we can say. So we want to mention here a person in C, then we want to draw a rectangle, CV2 dot rectangle. We want to draw our rectangle on the frame, then we want to mention the coordinates, which is x1 and y1, and then what else we want? We want our x2 and y2, then the color. So let's say white color, 255, 255 and 255, and thickness let's say 2. Then we are going to mention our class name on top left rectangle corner, our top left of rectangle corner, which is x1 and y1. So CV zone dot put T capital text, R capital rect, CV zone dot put text rect. We want to put our text on our frame, then F, then in single quote, then we want to mention here what we want to show. We want to show our C, because C is our class list. So from C, when we detect a person, means we create here a condition, if only person, then only draw a rectangle. So it means it will only show the person class name on our rectangle. So we want to mention C, this C. Simple, I have mentioned here C. Then we want our coordinates. So where we want to put our text? We want to put our text on our rectangle top left corner, x1 and y1. So x1 and y1. Then we want to mention the size of our rectangle. So 1, and the text size is also 1. So let's just freeze a frame. We are going to see a result frame by frame. If person is, oh, I forgot to mention in, if person in C, that's it. Save the code, run the code. Now first it will download our pre-trained model, which is YOLOv8s.pt. Then we have a detection. As you can see, it's now downloading our model. And friends, as you can see, our model is successfully downloaded, and we have here detection. We detecting a person. If I skip a frame one by one, as you can see, there is a white color rectangle on our object, and we have a class name which is a person. Simple, as you can see. So it means we successfully detecting our object, which is in this case we have person is our object. That's it. So we have done with object detection. Now we want to call our tracker. So for tracker, we want to send our rectangle coordinates inside our tracker.py file. So I have create here from tracker import star, means we want to call our tracker.py. This is what our tracker.py, and inside that tracker.py file we have class tracker, T is capital, and we have update function. So we need to call our class. So here it is, as you can see. First we need to mention the file. So from tracker, means tracker.py file, tracker name, import all the things. Then here we want to create a variable. So let me check here if I create a variable. No, there is no variable. So let's just create our tracker. So let's say tracker. This is just a variable which represent our tracker class. So tracker T is capital, like this way. Tracker, and we want to mention here our tracker class, which is this one. Simple. Now we can simply call our tracker. So here, as I mentioned, we want to send our coordinates, as you can see, our rectangle coordinates inside our tracker.py file. So for that we want to create a list of our rectangle coordinates. So if person in C, if there is a person, create a list dot append, and inside that we want to pass our x1, y1, x2 and y2. So x1, y1 and x2 and y2. That's it. Now simply we want to mention here list is equal to empty list. That's it. Now after where we create a list, hit enter, come at where we start our for loop at this line here. Just create a new variable which is bbox idx. This is what our variable bbox idx, which our tracker. So our tracker variable tracker dot, and inside the tracker dot py we have update function. So we want to call that function tracker dot update, and then simply we want to pass our list. So with the help of tracker, now we will get new rectangle coordinates. Also we will get a unique ID for each student. Each student will track by our tracker. Also it will assign the unique ID for each student. So simply for bbox in our bbox idx, and then as I mentioned, now we will get again new 4 coordinates for drawing the rectangle. Also we will get the ID variable. So x1, y1, x2, y2. Let's create x3, y3, x4 and y4. This is what our new 4 coordinates, along with the ID is equal to our bbox, this one bbox. And then now simply we want to draw here a rectangle with the help of our tracker. Simply change the coordinates. X1 will become x3, y1 will become y3, and x2 will become x4, y2 will become y4. That's it, done. And then cvzone.put text rect, we are going to put ID as a text on each rectangle top left corner. So let's just save the code and run the code. And if you skip the frame one by one, we forget to change here the put text rect coordinates. I have mentioned here the old one coordinates x1, y1. So we want to mention our new coordinates, new top left coordinate, which is x3 and y3. That's why there is issue. X3 and y3, which is a new rectangle top left corner coordinates. And as you can see, now we have ID, unique ID for each student. So watch for this student. As you can see, he has 4. So 4 is basically unique ID for these students. 0 is basically the unique ID for this student. So here it is. As you can, we have still this student, for still we have 0 ID. Simple. Now it will of course change because there is another 2 students. That's why the ID is changed. Simple. So that's why we want to mention here a region of interest area where basically the ID most times same. Most time the ID will be same. Okay. So we want to check where ID is basically same. As you can see, for these students we have 31, 33. So I have mentioned a perfect region of interest area with the help of mouse coordinates. So here it is. As you can see, I have mentioned the area 1 and area 2. So let's just draw this area 1 and area 2 with the help of our polylines. So we have done with object detection. We have now unique ID for each students on rectangle top left corner. Now because of there are so many students is basically going this side and going this side, So we want to mention here our select region of interest area, because in some area there will be same ID, but in some area the ID will be changed. So we want to select our region of interest area where most at the time ID will be same. So for that I have mentioned two area, area 1, area 2 with the help of our mouse function, because when we move our cursor on the frame, we have here, as you can see, we have here XY coordinates. So simply if I want to draw a region of interest area, so we want to simply move my cursor over here. Then if I want to start from here, so let's just say here I have coordinates inside shell 424291. So this is how I have mentioned here both area. So let's just draw first area 1. From here, CV2 dot polyline, CV2 dot polylines we want to draw on the frame. Then in square bracket we want to first mention np dot array, then in simple bracket we want to mention our area 1, then np dot int 32, then we want to mention after square bracket we want to mention true, then the color, so let's say green color 0255 and 0, and let's say 1. This is the thickness. So if I save the code, if I run the code, oh, there is some problem. Let me check. CV2, not CV. Silly mistake. CV2, not CV. I have mentioned here CV, that's why the error. So now we can simply, as you can see, there is our area. So this is what our region of interest area. So in this area, we have, most of the time we have same ID. So this is our first region of interest area. So let's just change the thickness. Let's make 2. Save the code, run the code. And now it's really good. So this is what our first region of interest area. So now let's just check our region of interest area for detection and tracking. So now what we want here, let's just first watch our frame. We can simply say we selected our area, we have ID, we have rectangle, means we have our object detection, we have our tracking, we mention our region of interest area. So now how to use our region of interest area for detection and tracking? Simply we want to mention like this way. We can say, if I skip a frame one by one, okay, so watch for these students, it has a 0 ID and of course there is a rectangle. So when this object rectangle inside our region of interest area, as you can see now the rectangle is basically inside our area, then we are going to detect the object, then we are going to track the object, and then we are going to assign the ID, because we create here our region of interest area. In other area we don't want to detect our object, or we can say we don't want to track our object. We want to detect and track our object only in our region of interest area. Simple. So for that, what we are going to do, this is what our rectangle, object rectangle, and this is basically top left corner, and this is basically the bottom right corner, which inside our region of interest area, as you can see, which inside our region of interest area. So what we are going to do, first we are going to highlight this bottom right corner with the help of CV2.circle method. So this bottom right corner rectangle coordinate is basically our x4 and y4. So simply we can say here cv2 dot circle, and we want to draw a circle on our frame, and the coordinates which is rectangle bottom right corner. So x4 and y4, x4 and the y4, and then we want to mention the radius, and then the color, let's say 255, 0255 pink, and because we want to fill our circle, so let's say -1, or let's just increase little bit more radius, so let's say 7, then we will get a better idea. And friends, as you can see, we highlight a rectangle bottom right corner. As you can see, at the bottom right corner we have a circle. So we can simply now watch here, when this circle means a rectangle bottom right corner, if it is inside our region of interest area, as you can see now it's inside our region of interest area, then only we are going to say please detect my object, also please track my object, or we can say please assign the unique ID for object. Simple. For this side also, as you can see, this rectangle corner, the point which we highlight inside our region of interest area, then we can say detection is there. So now for that we have a CV2 point polygon test method. So here, after we have x3, y3, x4, y4, we are going to simply create a result as a variable. Result is equal to CV2 dot point p capital polygon t capital test, and inside that, as I mentioned, what we are detecting here, we are mentioning our region of interest area, and inside that region of interest area we want our rectangle x4 and y4 coordinates inside the area. So simply first we want to mention our area, so the area is this, just copy it, our area, and paste as it is. That's it. Then comma, and we want to mention here our x4 and y4 in double quote here, x4 and y4, and then simply we want to mention here false, and then if we print here our result, save the code, run the code, and now watch inside the shell. Here we have -1, we have -1. So if I keep a frame one by one, and what we mention here, if our rectangle bottom right corner, which we highlight with the help of pink color circle, if it is inside our area, then we want to say the detection. So watch here, inside the shell we have -1, and now the rectangle bottom right corner is inside our area, and inside shell we have here, as you can see, the 1. So means when our selected point is inside in our selected area, we have one result. So we can simply create here a condition, say if our result, if it is greater than or is equal to 0, then only I want to draw my circle, there is a rectangle and there is a ID. So save the code and run the code. And now, as you can see friends, there is no detection in other area because of our condition. We mention here a condition, I just want to detect my object inside only region of interest area. So that's why, as you can see, the students are moving in other area, but there is no detection, there is no tracking. But watch for these students, when he is inside our area, there is a rectangle on student, there is a ID on a rectangle top left corner, there is a circle on rectangle bottom right corner. Watch for these students, also they are going inside, the students is basically going out. Watch for these two students also here. As you can see, his 1 feet is basically inside our area. Then we have detection because we mentioned rectangle bottom right corner. Watch for this student, as you can see. Okay, so simply we are going to cross check all the students. So let's just start our while loop. So friends, I have started the while loop. Watch for these students. We have 0 ID, 18, 17. Watch for this student. When he is inside our area, there is a detection. So as you can see, so far so good. We are detecting our object. We are tracking our object in our selected region of interest area. So now we need our second region of interest area. So I have mentioned here our next area, which is area 2, as you can see. So same way we want to mention cv2.polylines method, copy paste and just mention it, area 1 with area 2. Now just save the code, and here I am going to again freeze the frame. Now we have our second area, which is area 2, and here it is. As you can see, this is what our area 2, this is what our area 1, this is what our area 2. So why we need both areas? Simple, because we want to know the direction of the students. Means the students is basically going this side, means the out, or of course the students want to go this side, means the inside. For that we need a both area. So we can simply create here a condition. Suppose if the students want to go outside first, this is area 2, as I mentioned, this is area 2 and this is area 1. So suppose these students, let's just keep the frame. As you can see, these students want to go outside. So first he will part of our area 2. So as you can see, now he is inside our area 2. Then he will come at our inside area 1, and then he will go outside. So now it's really easy to say that this students is basically going outside, also this students is basically going inside, because we have area. Watch for these students which going inside. So first he will be part of our area 1, then he will part of our area 2, and then he will go inside from this stairs. Simple. So watch for this, he just want to go outside. So first he will part of area 2, then our area 1. Simple. So now what we are going to do, we can say here, let's just first change our area 1 with area 2, because first we are going to create outside counter, the students who want to go outside. So I have changed the area 1 with area 2. Now when the students inside our area 2, then we have detection and tracking, because we change area 1 with area 2. Watch for this student. As you can see, 0 is the ID. Simple. So now simply what we can say here, when our student inside our area 2, we want to save their ID and their current position. So their ID is basically 0, and the current position of the students when he is inside our area 2 is basically our rectangle bottom right corner, which we highlight the x4 and y4. So simply this is what our condition. If result, if it is greater than is equal to 0 for area 2 for going outside direction. So after that we can simply say here, I just want to save the person ID and the person current position when he is inside area 2. So I am going to mention here, let's say going out. This is what our list, not list, we are going to create here a dictionary, empty dictionary. So going out, and then we want our id, so going out id, and then is equal to, we want to mention here the x4 and y4. So x4 and y4, and then we are going to mention here going out is equal to empty dictionary. So print going out, save the code, run the code. So friends, as you can see, right now there is nothing, our dictionary is empty. But as you can see, when our student inside our area 2, there is a id. As you can see, the student, it has 0 id, so this is the id, and this is the current position when our student inside our area. So we are basically saving their id and their current position when our student inside our area 2, this area, as you can see, 0 and the current position. So simply now we have the id and the current position when student inside our area 2 who want to go outside. So simply we can say only count those students who already part of our area 2, and if I skip the frame, so same students, same id is now part of area 1, and then we can say the students basically going outside, because he is already part of our area 2, we are saving their id and current position, and now he will be part of area 1. So we can simply say only we are going to count those id who is already part of our area 2, and those students only we are going to count inside our area 1, and then we can say the student is basically go out. Simple. So we are saving id and current position inside our dictionary. So here we say going out id and their current position, x4 and y4. After that, simply here we want to create if condition again. So if id, because we save the id inside our dictionary, so if id in our dictionary means in going out, if id in going out, then here we are going to create our next condition. So as I mentioned, our next condition is what? When our student part of our area 2, we are saving their id and their current position, and then he will of course move in our area 1, and we have their id and their current position. So we can simply say only count those id who is basically inside our going out dictionary, means only count those id who already part of our area 2, and now the student will be part of our area 1. For that we want to mention our same condition. So copy this one, only we are going to change area, also the variable. So this result will become, because we mentioned already result, so this result will become result 1, and the students for going out, the students is already part of our area 2. After that we are saving their id. Now we are saying that only count those id who is already part of our area 2, and then now he wants to part of our area 1. So area 1 and then result 1. So if result 1, this variable, because we are now creating our condition for area 1, result 1, if it is greater than or is equal to 0, then only we are going to save, not save, then only we are going to draw the circle and rectangle and put text method. So let's just save the code, run the code. Now this students is basically going outside. So if I skip the frame one by one, right now as you can see the dictionary is empty because the student is not inside our area 2. So when he is inside our area 2, as you can see inside shell we have the student ID which is 0, the coordinates, but as you can see student is basically inside our area 2, but we are not drawing here circle, rectangle, because we mention here if the result one is equal to or greater than 0 means now only those students who is part of area 2 already we are saving their ID. Now same student is, if it is inside our area 2, not area 2, area 1, because he is already part of area 2, now he wants to become a part of area 1, then only we are going to draw circle and all these things. That's why when the student is inside area 2, there is nothing, there is no ID, there is no circle, there is no rectangle, but we save their ID current position, and then as you can see here, if I skip the frame, when students inside our area 2, ID is 0. As you can see the ID is 0. Now same ID is basically inside our area 1. This is area 2, this is area 1. Same ID is inside our area 1. That's why we are now able to create a counter. Simple. So same way we are going to mention for going inside condition, but we are only going to change here area, because first if the students want to go inside, first he will part of area 1, then he will part of area 2. Let's just watch here. For these students, first he will part of area 1, then he will part of area 2. I hope you all clear. So let's just copy all these things from here, result to CV zone, and just paste, and we are going to only reverse our condition, also change the variable. Check it is in line. Okay, now it's in line. So we have here result 1, so we are going to mention here result 2, and first the students want to go inside, first he will part of area 1, then if the result is greater than is equal to 0, so here we want to mention result 2 because we change the variable, so result 2. And the going out, we are going to mention here going in, we are saving their ID and current position. Here I want to create here empty dictionary, going in is equal to empty dictionary. Then what else we want? Going in, if ID in going in, so first he will part of area 1, we are saving their ID and current position, then he will part of area 2, the students who want to go inside. So then here we want to mention result 3 because we already mentioned here result 1 and 2, so result 3, and here result 3, if it is greater than is equal to 0, then we have the detection. So here instead of mentioning white rectangle, we can change the color. So let's say blue for going inside. Okay, so now if I save the code, if I run the code, I am skipping a frame one by one. We counted students, one students who wants to go outside. Now watch for going inside. The students is already part of our area 1. Now same student will part of area 2, the ID and the rectangle, as you can see. The next student also the ID and rectangle. It means we are successfully detecting, counting, tracking the both side students. Now let's just create our counter. So for this we mention here going out. Here we have put text method. After that we can say counter 1 dot append. What we are going to append? We are going to append their ID, because ID is the unique for each student. So if we want to create the counter, we simply want to count the ID in list format. So counter 1 dot append ID, and here we want to create counter 1 is equal to empty list, and then counter 1 dot append, and if I print here counter 1, let's just save the code and let's just start the code. Let's just first watch for counter 1 for going outside. So I am skipping frame one by one. Right now the list is empty, there is nothing. When we have one student, as you can see, we have 0 0. So as you can see friends, there is issue. The student ID is same, but it's counting again and again. Why? Because our rectangle bottom right is basically taking some time to move out from our area 1. So meanwhile it's counting our ID again and again. So we are going to create here a condition for counter. Please don't count same ID again and again. So if our counter 1 dot count, inside that what we are counting ID is equal to 0, means don't count same ID again and again, then our problem will be solved. So if I just start the code, our problem will solve. Okay, so now watch. The student is inside our area 1 for going outside, and inside shell, as you can see, we are detecting, we are counting basically the same ID only once, means we counted one student for going outside. So same way we are going to mention here for going inside. Let's just create counter 2 dot, what we want to append? We want to append the ID, and then again we want to mention here a same condition. Please don't count same ID again and again. So counter 2 dot count, what we are counting? We are counting here ID, and is equal to 0, means don't count same ID again and again. And I just want to create here a counter 2 here. Counter 2 is equal to empty list. Now simply if we print here, print counter 2, and as I mentioned, this is the list, so length of our counter 2 and length of our counter 1 is basically our counter. So start the code. Now watch inside shell, there is 0 0 both side, we don't count anything. As you can see, one student outside counter, one student inside counter, two student inside counter. As you can see, we have 1 and 2 inside shell, 1 for outside and 2 we count going inside. Now 2 out, this one is 3, as you can see 3. So we successfully counting both sides student. Now simply we are going to use series on put text method and we are going to put our counter on the frame here. So let's just mention a variable, let's say out, and this is basically in. Let's say out out C and in C. C will be small, C underscore. Okay, now simply CV zone, let's just copy paste the method, then we are going to change some variables, copy it from here, paste it, and backside, and here we want to mention a counter as a text. So out C, and then inside that we want to mention our out C, out underscore C, and the coordinates, let's say 50, 60, and the rectangle size 2 and the text size also 2. Same way, copy it, just paste, check it is in line, and we are going to mention here in C, and here also we want to mention our in C, this one in C, and 50, let's say 160. So if I save the code, if I run the code, and as you can see there is a counter on the frame. So let's just mention here shift colon, here also shift colon, and let's just start our while loop. So both sides 0 0, 1 outside, 1 2 inside, 2 outside, 3 outside, 4, we counted 2 students, which basically now 3 go inside, 5 outside, and this one is 6. So friends, as you can see, we successfully create a student counter which basically use a lobby area for going out or going inside. I hope you will learn something from this video. We'll meet our next video. Till then, thank you, take care, and bye bye.